Welcome to Firestar TV, Firestar FM. Today we have A.K.A. Matt joining us, and he'll be telling us a bit about his journey on his rap career.
Hi everybody, what's going on? Happy to be here.
So, Matt, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah. So my rap name's A.K.A. Matt. Uh, basically grew up in West London, raised by all women. Was introduced to rap at a young age. I think I was about nine, maybe nine. First song I ever listened to properly was Immortal Technique. What was it? Dance with the Devil. I was locked in from there, man. Like the storytelling of rap and everything, the fact it could play with your emotions and all that, it hit me immediately. Since then, I've just worked on it, tried to get better at rapping because I could not rap to save my life in the beginning.
Really?
Had to learn, had to learn it, had to figure out how to flow everything, and then eventually made my own sound, made my own style, made sure my character was shown, and yeah, now I'm here, still working on it, hopefully moving forward with it.
And what sort of what were the elements that inspired you to create your own character? Because obviously, when you're working in the rap and the industry in general, it's easy to sort of replicate people that you end up loving and people who you're fond of. So how do you
Yeah,
develop
absolutely.
your own sort of style and technique out of that?
Well, when I started, I obviously did do that. I mean, I think everybody does. They
Yeah.
start out thinking, "Oh, I'm gonna try to be like this rapper, that rapper, blah blah blah." But I think I started really finding my own character. Ironically, when I started listening to J. Cole, I wanted to emulate him, but he made such a big point of you have to be your own person, and otherwise you won't make it. You're just telling lies about who you are and whatnot. You're never gonna make it like that. And I took that on immediately. I listened to that. That's important, and I decided, okay, well, at that point I wasn't. I was a very self-conscious kind of guy. I was very like, I don't want people to think this of me, that of me. I want people to think that. Now I'm just like, you know what? You gotta be yourself. If people don't like you, that's their issue. I
Hmm.
mean, do your best to be a good person, but
Yeah.
always make sure you're yourself, no matter what the case is. And so that's when I realized I got to put that in my music. And that's when my music actually got a lot better as well. That's
Hmm.
when my music started increasing. Like people started listening to me more and saying, "Nah, this is perfect. You've done this song correctly. That this feels like you." That's the type of vibes I was getting, and that's when I realized, yeah, this is the path to go down.
So it was definitely developing that authenticity that helped you sort of create your own fan base that was interested in what you had to say specifically.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to be able to relate to people, and obviously, I tried. I tried to be a gangster rapper. I'm not a gangster. I ain't gonna try to be that anymore. And I've tried the club scene, all of that, and it's just like it's not me. Yeah, I like my party songs. I do make fun songs and whatnot, but that's not all me.
Hmm.
I need to make sure that I bring across me at all times. And I'm a bubbly person who likes to stay energetic. I also got a deep side, which will come across in my future songs. I've got things that I need to talk about. And to be honest, when I started writing, it was very easy to get things off my chest. I got a lot of situations in my life that I was able to get off my chest, and I don't even feel that way anymore. To a point now,
Yeah.
I don't write about that stuff because I've I've already done it. It's done for me that I don't feel that way anymore.
Yeah, that's a really important point that you've brought up there because a lot of people do struggle with things from their early years and their childhood, and a lot of people don't necessarily have an outlet. So it's really good that people like yourself have that musical ability to write down your lyrics and write down your feelings and process them and sing them, and well, not sing them or rap them, and it sort of clears your own aura and your own energy because you've got it out. What would you say
Yeah,
to people who
absolutely.
don't necessarily have that ability? How would they move forward with things that they've had issues with in the past?
I think you have to find what your passion is in life. If you've got that issue in life, you need to address it. You need to figure out why it's affected you, and is it worth leaving that feeling inside you? Is it worth having that? Because I've dealt with it, and all it does is it made me angry. It made me volatile, and people didn't even want to talk to me because I wasn't happy. And I think people can feel your energy when you're around them. They can feel what type of person you are or how you're feeling, and they don't want to feel like that. Nobody wants to feel down, so they don't really want to talk to you. And this is another reason you really got to get down to the core problem that you have, and you got to find a way to move forward with yourself, whether that be in your hobbies, whether that be talking about it, whether that be finding something to take your mind off of it. Either way, you have to find your own personal way to move forward, but make sure you look for that. I'm just lucky in I found it through music. I found it that way.
And are you able to maybe touch on a few of the issues that you did triumph over?
Yeah, well, I did make a song. It was kind of dark, but it was called Get By. Uh, and it was basically about from my childhood where I was hit very hard by my parents' divorce. And I speak about that and how it's affected me to a point I never actually spoke about it before. My sisters heard the song and they started crying because they didn't
Wow.
realize how I was feeling. And they didn't realize I was about 4 or 5, and they didn't realize I've seen how they felt as well. So I've written all that down as well. That's all
Mm.
in the song.
Are they older than you?
Yeah, they're two older sisters, and they they started crying when they heard my song because I've put down my feelings that I've never spoken about. All about
Mm.
how when my dad disappeared for a year and how I felt like my mum just was living with a broken heart and whatnot. And me being confused as a child, just I was scared, I don't understand. So I just became quiet and sheltered and locked away and I didn't want to talk to anyone. And I
Hmm.
didn't let anyone know my feelings either. I just played the kid character, which I don't think people realize their child knows more than they think they do. They think hiding from these little details from their kid will protect them, and it's actually ruining them. And then I
Okay.
move on from in the same song, get to the next verse on how music actually saved me and how writing has helped me and how I'm gonna get better thanks to it.
So can I ask how old are you now?
I'm 24 now.
So you've processed a good 20 years of repressed childhood.
Yeah,
That's
pretty
that's
much.
amazing to have got to that place by 24 because I know some 40-year-olds haven't even got to that place yet. So it's quite
I know a lot of
inspirational
people
that
still
you've
in it
done it
my
from
age.
such an age. Hmm?
I know a lot of people still in it at this age, and I'm quite worried for them.
So what would you be your advice to them?
What I always say to them is the same thing I've said before. You need to find what makes you happy. You need to stop letting whatever's back there drag you down because it's not here anymore. It's done, it's gone. And by me being affected by my parents' decisions, I'm allowing their decision to affect me. Whereas, like, that's not right. Your decisions have to affect you. What decisions you make should affect you,
Yeah.
not other
Hmm.
people's, including your parents, your elders of any kind. You need to move on and let them do what they do. Make sure you're okay. Because even your parents are going to say that to you. They're going to want you to be okay, regardless of their decisions.
Yeah. So then what does the future of AKA Map look like in terms of your music and content?
In terms of my musical content, I hope I can reach a lot more people. I do like my commercial songs, and you'll hear a lot of them. I love parties. I love good energy, and that's what I want to put across. I want people to have good energy. I want to make people happy, but I also want them to think about the people they're around and the environment they're in and how they're going to change it and make their life better. I want people to think like that because that's how I think. And
Hmm.
and personally I think it's made me a better person.
And do you think that's a possibility for the average person? Do you think it's possible for people to do that in the climate that we're living in?
I find that people are so engrossed in other people's business that they forget to take care of their own.
Hmm.
And either they're so busy talking about other people's bad energy that they get bad energy, or they're so busy giving out all their good energy and getting nothing back that they're
Right.
not concentrating on themselves. Overall, people need to take care of themselves and figure out are they okay before they can start taking care of anyone else or start caring
Hashtag
about
myself
anyone else.
central. That's what my whole business is based on. Myself Central is about literally putting yourself in the driving seat again. So great little plug for me there. Thank you, AKA Map. So what was it like growing up in West London?
It was okay. I mean, I was moved around a lot as a child, so I'd never really. I wouldn't say I've had a place to call home for a long period of my childhood. I'd say up to the point of maybe till 18 years old, I didn't really feel like I had a home. We had
Hmm.
places we lived in my opinion. Sometimes we moved to houses and I'd leave my boxes packed because I'm waiting to move again.
Right.
And that was obviously took a toll on me finding a place called home. But luckily, I had my sisters around me to take care of me, make sure I'm okay, you know, and my mum as well. And I don't know, growing up, I was the shy kid. I was the guy who kept him to himself, and I usually got bullied for it. And that really kind of helped build my character, though, because I grew up to realize, regardless of what these people do or say, it can't affect me unless I
That's
let
a
it.
Yeah, that's a really good point because a lot of people do suffer with bullying in schools, even in the workplace, even as adults. There seem to be people around who just want to poke you, and even on Facebook, it's a feature for people to just come along and poke you. And
There's always someone.
yeah, it can really mess up your mentality, and it can be really hard to focus on defining yourself as a character when you've got so many people around you who are trying to put you in a box. So, how have you dealt with that? In terms of like your rap career, have people tried to put you in a box?
People have put me in a box. One of my best friends, like I'm still friends with him, but he said to me, it's out of love, but there was a lack of faith. He said to me, I should look more into spoken word. I'm like, there's no problem with spoken word. Like I've seen it, but that's not what I want. And I know
Mm,
what I'm capable of. So why would I do that?
yeah,
And it hit me differently. And then obviously my parents were like, it's not a realistic avenue to go down, and it's this, it's that, and you should look at a real career, which is why I'm a mechanic right now as well.
okay,
And it's just like there's not a lot of support for a dream that seems too big.
yeah,
And I don't know, my whole attitude has always been like, it upsets me when I hear it because you
hmm,
start to think about it, you start to doubt yourself. But something in me always comes back to it. I had a hiatus on this for about 2 years, and I was not in a very happy place. When you're not doing what you love, it hits you. And I don't like that feeling to a point I ended up just doing everything I can to make sure I'm in a situation where I can do it. And now I'm here, I've got my own setup and everything. I paid for this. I made this happen because I needed it to. And now things are moving in such a good direction. I'm on my first interview. This is great.
way, Firestar. Amazing. No, that is so good. That is so good. And I really know what you mean about, I mean, having the support of your friends and family, you think is a given when you're starting these big dream ventures. And most of the time, it's actually not a given. It's not given hardly at all. Really, the people that you think are going to support you are the ones who don't, and the people you think are going to be the ones who are sharing your music and sharing your stories and liking your comments and commenting and doing all those things that help you on the algorithm. They're not doing those things. So, who would you say has supported you through your musical journey?
I would like to shout out to Ankit. He's one of my closest friends. He has literally been there from the get. He's the first person I told I wanted to rap. I I sat on this from 9 years old to about 14 or 15. Didn't tell no one. Then told him, and then I think he's the only one who really pushed it. Because from then he said he didn't tell me I was rubbish, but he did tell me go and work on it.
Yeah.
He didn't expect me to come back and tell and show him a different thing. And when I came back, and he was shocked. And I think at that point he saw that I was ready to push myself,
Yeah.
and he just supported me the whole way. Then he managed to get me in touch with a producer who has helped me get my flow better and learn how to write differently, and learning how to write choruses better and everything, and even giving me some beats to work on. And yeah, he's helped me further my career. His name's Pardeep, the producer, and yeah, it's just gone from there. Really, I've got a long list. Trust me, we'll be sitting here. The whole interview will be gone.
That's amazing. That's so good to hear that you have had a lot of support though. And how has that support maybe um not deteriorated, but how has it changed during lockdown?
You know what? I think it got better.
Yeah.
Weirdly, a lot of people are experiencing it in a completely opposite way, but
Mm,
I'm finding all the friends that know I've been pushing this for years have gone, yo, you've got time now.
Mm,
Like, you're not at work, you're furloughed. You got time. There ain't no excuse left.
mm-hmm.
Especially my producer. He's been pushing me to be a lot better. He keeps pushing me. And to be honest, the last lockdown before this one,
Mm-hmm.
I managed to get the music video ready, the whole idea of it and everything, and managed to secure that and build the idea on it. And we recorded multiple songs afterwards. So I've got a whole lineup ready to go for next year.
Amazing.
And trust me, it's gonna be a good year for me thanks to this lockdown.
That's so good to hear. That is so good to hear because a lot of people have struggled during lockdown, but a lot of entrepreneurs have actually had the time to really focus on what it is that they love doing, which has been amazing for ourselves included. Um, what would your advice be for up and coming artists? Because I know you said before that you had to buy your own equipment and stuff, and I'm a firm believer in doing what you can with what you got where you're at. You can't
Yeah.
despise, the small beginnings because everyone has to start somewhere. So, what would your advice to up and coming artists be?
I know the goal is big, but you have to start small. You need to accept the fact that you're not gonna always have access to the big studios and the expensive music videos and whatnot. You need to be ready to budget. And I saved, I worked, and I bought my equipment. While I was working to get my equipment, I was writing. I was trying to get better at writing and trying to get better with my flow and everything. And then obviously you need to be ready for that grind.
Hmm.
It's not a quick process. Some of these people that are going to take this advice probably are able to do what they do naturally. I had to learn to rap.
Yeah.
I just loved listening to it. I couldn't do it naturally.
Hmm.
I didn't have that kind of talent, but I had the talent to push myself to learn it,
Yeah.
and then I did, and now I've got to this point. And to me, you need to take the little things that the little wins. You need to feel them, and you need to be happy and thankful for them. If you're not thankful for the little things, then you're never gonna get the big things. And even when you get to the big things, it's not gonna be enough for you.
No, exactly. I definitely believe in that, and that's definitely a concept that I push with my clients as well. Is being grateful for the little things and celebrating the small wins. I definitely think that's a very important point that you've raised there. So, what are your goals now for 2020? No, 2021. What are your goals for 2021?
2021 is I'm gonna get as much music as I can out, get as much music as I can get done. I'm gonna push it as much as I can because I've got a plan of action of how to deliver it to people and how to get it done properly. And I'm doing it all on a budget realistically, but it's working.
Hmm.
It's working really well. So 2021 is looking like a good year for me. I've got a lot of songs to come, hopefully starting Jan, most likely going to be going to be February, but it's just going to keep going. It's going to be a continuous content release and different videos, and I've also got other plans in the works with some friends. So it's going to be a productive year.
Amazing. And are you in a relationship or are you single at the moment?
Yeah, I am in a relationship with a very lovely girl who stresses me out, but I love her.
And do you have any requests for either a breakdown or a breakout song? So before you met your wonderful woman, and you were going through that sort of I need to find love kind of stage, was there a particular song that you could request on our breakdown, and breakout mix?
J. Cole folding clothes.
Hmm. And what's that about?
That song. Sorry?
What is it about? What's the concept behind it?
J. Cole folding clothes. That song. Oh, you talking about my songs or a song that I listen to?
Yeah, a song that you listen to, a song that you listen to. So J. Cole is perfect.
Okay. Yeah. Folding clothes. That song was all about it's small, like I wanna fold clothes for you. And it's like it's a small thing, but it's a point of I wanna do for you. I wanna make you happy, something for someone else.
Definitely. Fellas, I think you should really take note of that. Folding clothes for a woman will get you big points.
Generally
Talking,
speaking.
he's talking sense here. He's talking the truth. He's not lying. He is not lying at all. So if you could just finish off with giving us a little 16 bars of something that you've either written or a little freestyle that you can end our little interview with.
I tell you what, I've got a. It's more like spoken word, but I've done it to a beat. I'll give you what I wrote the other day, and it will be coming out on a. It will be coming out. It'll be a quick freestyle sort of thing that I'll be releasing soon. Okay. Saying you was there from the start, you just a witness. I'm trying to drain these rappers' blood like they got a slit wrist. They're saying they can take me on, they're just nitwits. If you come in for my throat, then I must insist that you guarantee my death. Cause I come back, and if I do, then my revenge I will exact. Tell me to go back to being the old Matt, but I can't go back, like a bad relapse. Keep my integrity intact, spend stacks, relax, get it right back. My flows excite, trying to enlight and entice, so I can bring to light the energy I invite to show insight. That's the real fight. I'm trying to teach a lesson, but they didn't get the message. Spread love, not terror, starting from adolescence. Spend time checking on all of your investments. If you pay into people's souls, you should receive their blessings.
Amazing. Thank you so much. So this is Matt, A.K.A. Matt Brogan, and you're Matt Brogan on Instagram? Or is it A.K.A. Matt?
On Instagram, you'll find me as A.K.A. Matt as well. A.K.A. Matt. I know it's long and it's going to be annoying to find, but I'm there.
A.K.A. Matt. You can find him on Instagram, follow him, and keep up with what he's going to be doing for the rest of this year and excelling in 2021. Thank you so much, Matt, for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Can you tell us a little bit about your single before we go?
What, the latest single?
Yeah, your latest single.
Now They See. Oh, Now They See. It's more of a, I'd say it's more of a freestyle type of song. There's no chorus in it, but it's captivating enough to keep you in. It's got bars, it's got melody, it's got flow. And I think you're gonna get a lot of my character off of it. A lot of my character goes into that song.
That's amazing. And I think one really important thing that I'd like to just finish on is the fact that A.K.A. Matt has said he didn't start off with the talents to be able to do what he's doing now. But when you want something, you do have to put in the work. You do have to put in the research, and you do have to put in the grind to make your dreams happen. So thank you so much for being that inspiration for so many people who are going to be able to really start thinking about what they want to do and how they're going to get there.
Absolutely. I'm proud to do it.
They ready.
Thanks a lot.
True hippie.
They don't wanna see me make a mill, but I won't stop till I get my fill. Drop the tunes and I sign the deal. I see the shot and I take the kill. Get my check, sign the sealed. I'm making waves, I'm growing gills. Don't man's not hot, I'm feeling swill. Living blessed and tequila chilled. You know I'm quick,